Aloha y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to talk about some dupe products, but specifically some dupe products, like for example, whenever it comes to like people being like, oh, it's a dupe. I don't like it when they're saying one high-end product is a dupe for another high-end product. I understand if we're like saying a cruelty-free, like a cruelty-free thing is a dupe for a non-cruelty-free thing, that I understand. But when it comes to like dupes out in the rest of the world and rest of the whatever, I'm kind of thinking like, don't you think, you know, if we're duping something expensive, we should find something more affordable, because the reason we're duping it is because we're poor. So today I'm going to be specifically talking about inexpensive dupes for some high-end products. We're going to be going through a crap ton of highlighter and some blushes. Obviously, if you want to see a second part of this, I can do my research, do my thing, go on through all of these cupboards over here, and we can do this a couple different times. I do have, just letting you know now, a crap ton of Becca highlighters. Like, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're duping 5 Becca highlighters today because Becca highlighters are expensive and they're super popular. And we're not necessarily duping formulas. There is one product that's kind of pretty spot on for a formula dupe, but a lot of these are going to be just like color dupes, like, oh, if you like this color from this super expensive brand, you know, you should check it out from this more affordable one. Because I know oftentimes we look at highlighters and we want that very specific look that that one highlighter is going to give us. And so we're just going to go through and talk about some kind of similarities that I have managed to find in my collection. And I feel like this is also good, you know, not necessarily for me. I don't care how many highlighters or blushes or anything I have in my collection, but some people don't like it when, like, you know, they're like, colors are so similar. So this is kind of good to look and be like how close a lot of colors can be together. Okay, we're gonna start off with a Becca. Surprise, surprise. This is probably, oh my goodness, I went and looked and searched for this for forever. This is the Pearl shade, which is like obviously pasty friendly, but hey, if you're not pasty and you want to rock this, you do you. It is just a beautiful, super shimmery, like stark whiteness going on. This is typically the highlighter I use whenever I'm going for like my super pale vampire avant-garde makeup looks. But like we all know, Becca highlighters are $38. Enter the $10 job. This is the Ulta Beauty Illuminator Sheer Radiant Finish highlighters. Now, I believe these have been like repackaged. They still have all the same shades. This one is in Brilliant Diamond. These were a total, like, once again, like I always say with highlighters, what I do is I see a formula I haven't tried and I buy it. So this was just kind of like a totally random shot in the dark. But looking awfully similar there, ain't we? The Becca one might be just a little bit more cha-cha, but if you kind of want to, like when you want to try something out, but you don't want to like invest all that money in, I feel like more affordable options are just really great that way. Then a super duper popular and at one time super coveted Becca highlighter. This one is in Prismatic Amethyst. This is the limited edition packaging. It is now permanent, but for a long time people could not get their hands on this and people could not like get over it. It's just this really pretty, like, it's kind of a little bit hard to explain. It's like pinky, duochrome-y, shifty, but not like crazy. You got to turn sideways to notice the shift. It's very soft and diffused and very like, it's like a colorful highlighter, but without being like really crazy in your face colorful. Once again, Becca's 38. I think for like I said, it was limited edition. This is the Model's Own Sculpting Glow highlighter powder in Peach Pearl 02. Going on right here. And I think, oh, it's not swatching as good as it used to. Come on, you can't, I haven't had you for that long. But there we have it right there. Definitely the Becca one is probably going to be a little bit more intense, although this one looks beautiful on the cheeks. I'm not sure why it isn't swatching as well as it usually does, but it offers that same kind of like pinky, shifty, soft highlight going on. And the Model's Own ones are, I know, less than $10 So once again, if you can get the look without spending the money, you know, why not? And we also don't have one thing that's important with inexpensive dupes is that, you know, we don't all have the same kind of budget. You know, a lot of people, you know, the economy we're living in right now is not conducive for people to be buying a lot of luxury products, which is what makeup is. And so if people are like, you know, oh, well, I want to get this kind of look, but I can't afford it. It's like, look, you can now. Okay, another Becca going on here. This one is in Moonstone, which was probably my first ever because this is like, according to my skin tone, this is the highlighter that I need to get. I should honestly probably try panning this thing because I think that would be pretty successful. We got her right there. Even though I honestly do think that Moonstone is just a little bit less cha-cha than the other highlighters in the same line. Let me know if that's just me. But as we keep saying, you know, Becca highlighters, $38. Enter the Col-lab, the filter highlighting powder in Glow for the Gold. Now this one's pretty spot on color wise. Got it right there. It may be a titch lighter, but it is going to be more intense than the Becca one. Like I said, I don't know if it's my Moonstone formula or just Moonstone on a whole, but the Col-lab one is it's cha-cha-cha-cha. It's actually what I'm wearing today. So for you like fair to pale people, this one's nice. Okay, let's go into Rose Quartz, this is definitely one of my favorite ones. This was another one that was a limited edition job that Becca then decided, well, people really like it, maybe we ought to make it permanent. And then from Wet n Wild, this is the Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Blossom Glow. Now this one is gonna be a hair bit lighter. If you can see it there, you can see that one's like a little bit more like a neutral pink, and that one's just more like a lighter straight up cool tone pink. But this is kind of like, if you want to get that effect without paying the money, you're kind of drawn towards that like soft pink, kind of like a little bit like more natural than the Prismatic Amethyst. And then kind of like another potential option, this one is the same Wet n Wild, but this one is in Botanic Dream. I'll swatch that on top. See, they're all three a little bit different, but it's, like I said, kind of like that. If you like the idea of a nice pink highlighter, but you don't want to spend $38, then these ones are really good options as well. Let's switch it up and do some blush. One of my absolute all-time favorite blushes, the Too Faced Sweethearts Perfect Flush Blush in Sparkling Bellini. I'm pretty sure this is still available, maybe not. I think Too Faced might be discontinuing them. I know that there's only one shade available on Ulta. I will obviously check Too Faced's website. But it's just this beautiful, amazing, peachy, delightful glowiness, which you all know that I'm absolutely here for. Just got that nice Papa orange with shimmeriness and awesome illumination. I mean, this has been like one of my favorite blushes for as long as it's existed. But if you want to get the look for less, this is the Milani Baked Powder Blush in Coralina, which is, everyone was always like, Luminoso. And I'm like, yeah, but this one's got like glitter in it. Because y'all know I tend to be a little bit extra going on in there. And it's maybe just like a hair, like, I don't know, peachier, orangier, I don't know. Y'all can see in the swatch. But they essentially do the exact same things on your face. These are two of my absolute favorite blushes. It's funny because it's always a toss-up between which one's gonna like come traveling with me, even though they're like the same thing. I was like, which one do I take? They're so beautiful. And then if I'm like, you know, being honest, I usually take both. And I'm like, why did you do that? What? They're the same thing. Then surprise, surprise, another one of my absolute favorite blushes. Some of y'all are probably gonna be like, but girl, really, that blush? This is Tarte Exposed. I mean, this blush, oh my goodness, couple years ago was like all the rage. It was the blush. Everyone loved it. And I love it too. You know, part of the reason I love it is, you know, although I do like going crazy, sometimes I like being being a little more toned down. This is honestly probably what I'm gonna wear to my brother's wedding, so there is that. But what I like about this blush is that it really is a sort of go with everything blush, whether I'm using modern renaissance, whether I'm using soft glam, whether I'm doing something more colorful. It lends itself to looking good with anything that you're wearing. There we have, we all know that Tarte blushes swatch like crap. They're also very good if you're a blush abuser, kind of like I am, and you've got to like really, they're great for that. And these two are not in the swatches. They're not going to look like spot on, but on the cheeks, they essentially look the same. Because for a long time, this one was like the blush I was using for like, excuse me, burp squad. I was using that blush like every day, all day. And I was like, girl, you got to stop. You got to put it down. And then I picked up this blush. This is the Makeup Revolution The Matte Blush Powder in Nude, which is essentially the exact same thing. I mean, so you got it right here. It's a bit more pigmented. You do have to tread a wee bit more carefully because like I said, you got to work to get that like really built up pigmentation with Tarte. But then I was using this blush and then I was like, oh, that's why, because they're essentially the same thing. They're just kind of that like ready, neutrally, not cool, not warm, just like I said, perfect, go with everything. This is like, I mean, it's a great year-round blush, but like typically in the fall, I mean, this is what I wear. And then one that's gonna look way different in swatches, but like I said, on the cheeks, it basically creates the same effect. And this is the LA Girl Just Blushing Blush in Just Playful. So we got this one, going on right there. Got a little bit going. I'll swatch this one on top. So you can see there's like, actually those look, I was re-swatching all this stuff last night and I'm like, I guess they aren't that similar, but I guess they are. Like I said, even if the swatches show up a little bit different on the cheeks, these are the same blush. They're absolutely beautiful. Go with everything, works on a myriad of skin tones, that like slight red undertone on a deeper skin tone. Yes. I live for that sort of thing. Okay, then we'll do a just totally random blush. Like this wasn't in my initial group of stuff to be duped. I was just going around rooting through my collection being like, oh look, there's a similarity. This is the Becca Luminous Blush in Dahlia. Now I will say, when it comes to Becca's luminous blushes, they are, if you're used to the Tarte formula, tread beyond carefully, because I'm gonna show you. It's just like a little, ooh, ooh, ooh. You see that? Y'all, that's eyeshadow pigmentation. I should honestly probably use that as an eyeshadow, but it's like this beautiful, like cranberry, whatever, something, something. Your cheeks are kissed and all that kind of stuff from being out in the cold because it's freezing. It is a very unique shade. Y'all are gonna be so sick of hearing about this brand, but in all honesty, they got a lot of great things. Their foundation, there's just a lot of things that are great with these. This is the Col-lab Soft Spot Sheer blush in Meet Cute. I was just like, oh, kind of a deep wine ready looking thing. And now this one is not as pigmented as the Becca one, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. But, you know, obviously I'm not going to be using that much on my cheeks, you know, that sort of thing. And so they just offer that same, once again, that like raspberry whateverness cherry going on your cheeks, you know, for a lot less money. And if you're someone who's like scared, kind of like I am, of the pigmentation of the Becca one, you can get this one and be like, okay, so I'm gonna get the same effect, but I don't have to be anywhere near as careful with applying it. The only thing I have to say is that the Col-lab one doesn't have nearly as good staying power as the Becca one. Like you put the Becca one on and it ain't going nowhere. And the Col-lab one I would say lasts to like 4 to 5 hours, and then it kind of just gets like maybe eaten by your foundation. I don't know, it just fades a little bit, but it's the same thing, but take into consideration the wear time. Then a product that is not a, we're not duping a color, we're not duping a whatever. This is a like, if you like this formula or you want to try this formula, try this instead because it's cheaper. This is the Col-lab, the Filter Highlighting Liquid in Spark My Interest. The color doesn't matter. They're all basically, yeah, the formula is the same across the board for these. And these are essentially the same thing as the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector liquids. I mean, pretty much spot on. I don't think I put it in a video. I was gonna put it in a video, but the video didn't end up happening. But I did this where I used this on like one of my cheeks, and I used it in on the other side. Same thing. I mixed it in with a foundation, and I used the Becca one with the exact same foundation. Same results. They're just a perfect liquid highlighter because they don't leave any shimmer or shine or glitter. They just turn into this beautiful, luminous, healthy glow. So if you've been wanting to try a really good liquid highlighter and you've been looking at the Becca ones, this right here is less expensive and it's just as good and it's cruelty free. So yeah, that's it. That's me talking about products that I am duping. Like I said, obviously let me know if you want to see me do this some more on my channel. Let me know about the products I talked about. If you think I'm somewhere in the right realm, or if I'm just completely off my rocker and you're like, those don't look anything alike. I realize that all of our color cones see things differently. And also let me know down below if there are any sort of specific products you would like for me to go like on a hunt for a dupe for. Would be more than happy to do that for you all. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!